The diplomatic hall stretched before Jack like a cathedral of chrome and starlight. Representatives from 12 different species stood in careful clusters, their translators humming softly as they exchanged pleasantries that meant nothing and everything. Jack tugged at his collar, feeling the weight of Earth's expectations pressing down on his shoulders like gravity itself. "You understand the terms, Ambassador Hayes?" The Celestian mediator's voice rippled through the air, musical and strange. "The Accord of Blind Choice has stood for 3,000 years. No species may gain advantage through appearance, status, or intimidation. You choose with your heart, not your eyes." Jack nodded, though his stomach churned. The marriage alliance wasn't just symbolic. It was Earth's ticket into the Galactic Coalition. After 2 centuries of isolation following humanity's discovery of faster-than-light travel, this was their chance. And it all rested on him choosing a bride from among the candidates presented, each one a daughter of a coalition world. The catch? He had to do it blindfolded. "This is insane," Emma whispered beside him. His diplomatic aide had been with him since the beginning of this mission, her sharp mind navigating political minefields that would have destroyed lesser negotiators. "Jack, you don't have to do this. We can find another way." "There is no other way," Jack replied, keeping his voice low. "Earth needs this alliance. After the Terran Wars, after everything we've done, this is our redemption." Emma's hand found his arm, her grip tight with concern. "Then at least let me help you. I've studied every candidate's file. The Vraxian princess is the safest choice. Her people control 3 trade routes. The Calarian noble would give us military support. They know." Jack's voice was firm. "If I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it right. The whole point is to choose without prejudice, without calculation. Just faith." The Celestian mediator approached, carrying a strip of silver cloth that seemed to shimmer with its own inner light. "Are you ready, Ambassador Hayes?" Jack took a deep breath. Around the hall, conversations died. Every eye, and there were many different kinds of eyes, fixed upon him. He thought of Earth, of the blue marble hanging in space that humanity called home. He thought of the children who would grow up with stars within reach, of the future this choice could secure. "I'm ready." The blindfold settled over his eyes, and the world went dark. "The candidates will approach one at a time," the mediator announced. "You may ask one question of each. Then you must choose." Jack's other senses sharpened in the darkness. He heard the whisper of fabric, the soft tread of footsteps. The first candidate stopped before him, and he caught a scent like copper and rain. "What do you value most?" Jack asked. "Power." The voice was sibilant, confident. "Through strength, we prosper." The second candidate approached. This one smelled of flowers he couldn't name, sweet and cloying. "What do you value most?" "Tradition. The old ways keep us stable, keep us safe." One by one they came. The third valued wealth. The fourth valued honor. The fifth valued knowledge. Each answer was perfectly diplomatic, perfectly rehearsed, perfectly safe. Then the sixth candidate stepped forward. Jack almost staggered. The air around her seemed to vibrate with energy that made his teeth ache and his skin prickle. This was no human, no near-human species. Whatever stood before him was profoundly other. "What do you value most?" he asked, his voice barely steady, silence stretched. Then, in a voice that sounded like crystal chimes and distant thunder, "I value the question more than the answer. I value the journey more than the destination. I value the choice to choose, even when choosing is terrifying." Jack's breath caught. In that moment, blindfolded before strangers on a world far from home, he understood. The Accord of Blind Choice wasn't about removing prejudice. It was about revealing truth. In darkness, stripped of sight and pretense, people showed who they really were. "Her," Jack said. "I choose her." The gasps that rippled through the hall told him he'd made an unexpected choice. The blindfold was removed, and Jack blinked in the sudden light. The woman before him was beautiful in a way that defied human categories. Her skin shifted colors like oil on water. Her eyes were too large and too dark, and when she smiled, he saw too many teeth. But it was her eyes that held him, ancient and young, knowing and curious, utterly alien and somehow familiar. "The human has chosen Princess Lyri of Zytheria," the mediator announced, shock clear in their voice. "The crystalline throne." Emma grabbed Jack's arm. "Do you know what you've done?" she hissed. The Zytherians are the most powerful species in the coalition. They're also the most mysterious. They've never offered an alliance before. This changes everything. Princess Lyrie stepped forward, her movements liquid and strange. You chose without seeing, she said, her voice still carrying that crystalline quality. In 3,000 years of this ceremony, no species has ever chosen a Zytherian candidate. Most are too frightened by what they cannot understand. I didn't choose based on fear, Jack said. I chose based on truth. You were the only one who gave me a real answer. And that, Lyrie said, her color-shifting skin rippling with what might have been amusement or approval, is why I volunteered to be a candidate. We have watched humanity for 2 centuries, Jack Hayes. You are a species of contradictions, violent and gentle, selfish and self-sacrificing, brilliant and foolish. But above all, you are brave. You choose to hope even when hope seems impossible. She extended her hand. Too many fingers, too many joints, but the gesture was unmistakable. Let us be brave together. Jack took her hand, feeling energy arc between them like static electricity. In that moment, he realized the true nature of the test. The accord of blind choice didn't just bind 2 individuals, it bound 2 peoples. And humanity, stumbling and flawed and desperate, had just allied themselves with the most powerful species in known space. Not through calculation, not through strategy, through faith. Emma stood beside him, her expression mixing shock with something like pride. Well, she said quietly, Earth wanted a dramatic entrance to galactic politics. I think you just delivered. Jack laughed, the sound bright and genuine in the solemn hall. Around them, the representatives erupted into frantic conversations, recalculating alliances and strategies in light of this impossible development. But Jack only saw Lyrie, her alien features settling into something he recognized across all the vast distances between their species: hope. Welcome to the coalition, humanity, Princess Lyrie said. Welcome to the stars. And Jack, standing blindfolded no longer, finally saw the future clearly. End.